Hello and thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I am Screen Scene Guru coming at you with a full documentary series review. This is on the new Netflix documentary series, American Murder of Gabby Petito. I know it's a very controversial topic given that this happened just a few years ago. Very sad, troubling story for those of you that have covered it on your own personal channels, and for those of you that watched the coverage on the news as I did myself a few years back. I liken this to other series on Netflix that are very informative, like Unsolved Mysteries and others. So this is a three-part documentary series. I'd like to say it's about 3 hours long. Very graphic, and it goes into new details of the investigation that they have not gone into before. I've got a little bit of information pulled up on another screen for you guys to hear about. So going into a little bit of the overview for the show, we've got a young couple cross-country van journey documentary on social media ends in tragedy when domestic violence shatters their seemingly perfect life. Their story sparks a nationwide investigation and raises questions about family loyalty. Um, like I said, this is a new Netflix documentary special. Um, it is currently holding a 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is very good in my opinion. I think it's very good to get this story told to everyone. I know there's a foundation now made by the family to help young women that are struggling, trying to get help, seeking a way out of domestic violence. So I think that's great. Um, Going into the show, I just binged it last night. Starting off, they gave you a whole timeline of when she started the journey with her boyfriend, supposed fiance, Brian Laundrie. Um, so going into a little bit of the story, we of course get to see they take off, going on to their cross-country trips. They visit different locations like national parks while vlogging, doing this social media page. That was their main source of wanting to go out and do this journey. We got to see interesting details like her past boyfriend made a prize cameo that we did not get to hear his testimony at all in the news when they covered the story, as well as we got to see a friend of Brian and Gabby Petito's make her first time appearance, giving her statements to Netflix in the testimony, which I thought was very interesting. I thought her topic was informative, but also troubling that she considered Brian a friend. She didn't think that he was capable of doing stuff like this, and of course, we all found out at the end what happened. But going into the second episode of this three-part documentary series, we got to see the police body cam footage, the infamous body cam footage that was released on the news. We got to see firsthand what the police's decisions were in deciding to separate her and Brian Laundrie after their domestic dispute the first time. They gave her the keys to the van and they separated them, making him stay in a combatants, a domestic abuse hotel, which I thought was just a really odd choice that they didn't book him that night. A lot of people have criticized the police's handlement of that situation, given the clear markings on him and on her, but of course they determined that he had more bruises on him than she did, so they just separated them for the night. A lot of people wish that they hadn't done that decision. Perhaps she would have been alive, but moving on into the third and final episode, we get to see a lot of testimony of the family, Gabby Petito's mother and her significant partner, and of course her biological father and his partner, as well as her family members. But we never got to see any of the news coverage of the story. Of course, they kept it very private for them. They didn't want to make it a spectacle. we got to find out a lot more about the Laundrie family, which I thought was very fascinating. All of the steps they took in helping him. The phone records released showing that he had her phone, trying to duplicate messages to try to seem like they were communicating back and forth. They proved that he basically stole from her after he committed his heinous crime of, capital murder of someone that you were supposed to trust and love. Um, Very interesting story, and the situation of how they came to finding Brian was very fascinating as well, as he was kept up in the house with his parents until he wasn't. How the FBI and so many law enforcement was able to let him slip out of the house was very questionable. And then, of course, them saying that he was staying in that natural reserve in Florida was very interesting as well. And then combing it for several days, and then the family of Brian Laundrie finding his sleeping bag and his remains, along with a suicide note. They also discovered a burn after reading note that Brian Laundrie's mom left him, that the police and other authorities uncovered and gave to the Netflix documentary specialists. Very graphic details revealed there, that she would take any measure, any step to protect her son from going to jail, including hiding a body. So very fascinating stuff there. Have you guys checked out this documentary? If you haven't, I definitely recommend you guys checking it out. It is on currently top 10 on Netflix. I just had a really interesting time covering it. It was hard to kind of go through some of this stuff, with the family grieving and them just trying to get answers from the Laundries and then fighting them at every step. Brian came back with the van and wouldn't give them any answers on it, and it was titled to her name. It was just total disrespect for the family, and I'm glad that they were able to start this foundation and help other women that are in trouble. They've since been to the site where Gabby died. I don't want to give away too much information because I know it's kind of hard to get into for those of us that know about the story, but they've been there, they've saged the area, they've had their own kind of mock ceremony. I don't want to kind of go into all of the details that they have, but they've documented having an orb show up around them when they were all there gathered, and they kind of take that as Gabby has kind of moved on and is at peace. So that's very good to hear. At least that's what the family believes. But make sure you guys are liking the video. Comment down below on what you guys' thoughts are. What do you think of this story? It was really crazy, that the fact that it was able to take the nation by storm. Be sure to follow the channel on Screen Scene Guru here on YouTube, but also on Instagram and on Threads. But one more thing before I go, I thought it was very fascinating and enlightening, the fact that they went into all of the indigenous people and Native American, Black, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it, Asian, people that have also gone missing over the years, not just white people. They did go into a little segment where Gabby Petito's case was unique in the way that it got everyone's attention because of her race, where other women's cases have gone unnoticed. I think that's very fascinating, and it does need to be talked about, and it does need to be brought up. So I'm very glad that they brought that up in the documentary. But thank you everyone for watching this video of mine. I hope you're all having a good and safe time. Be sure to keep your guys' eyes out for any kind of suspicious activity when you guys are going out, to gas stations and whatnot. If you ever see something that doesn't look right, make sure to, make it known. Just tell somebody you saw something that didn't seem right. But until next time, guys, I want to thank you for clicking on my video, and have a good one. Bye-bye. Alrighty. Ciao. And check out my channel for future content. Till next time.